Dragon Master Magia is a brand new fusion monster for Blue Eyes and Dark Magician decks. This highly anticipated card was revealed about 6 months ago, so TCG players have been waiting for it for quite a while. A few weeks ago, it finally released in Battles of Legend Terminal Revenge, but it received pushback from the community. The reason that so many players were mad was that Dragon Master Magia was only printed in one specific high-end rarity, and as a result, it's currently sitting around $500 to $600 on the market. This prices out to the vast majority of players from having a chance at using the card in duels or picking one up for their collection. Today we're going to look at the card itself and how it could be played, and then we're also going to find out why it's so expensive. Additionally, I want to compare Dragon Master Magia against a few other cards that were printed under similar circumstances so that you guys can see why this one is so frustrating. Dragon Master Magia is a level 12 light dragon fusion monster with 5,000 attack and 4,000 defense. Its materials are Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon or 3 Blue Eyes monsters plus 1 Chaos or BLS ritual monster. It must be fusion summoned, and here's what it does. When your opponent activates a card or effect, a quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. You can only use this effect of Dragon Master Magia in response to each card type, monster, spell, or trap once per turn. If this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster or 1 Chaos or BLS ritual monster from your extra deck or graveyard. These effects are pretty solid. It gives you 3 negates every single turn in a pretty interesting way, and it even floats into a number of good monsters if your opponent manages to take it out. Of all the different cards that you can float into, I feel like Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon is one of the best. While this card is on the board, it cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and once your turn rolls around, it has a destruction effect as well. Magician of Black Chaos Max is another great target, but with ritual monsters, you will have to properly summon them first before reviving them from the graveyard. That being said, if you do special summon this card, you can essentially skip your opponent's turn by preventing them from activating monster effects, which does make it pretty appealing. Admittedly, Dragon Master Magia's material can seem a bit overwhelming at first, but luckily there's a fairly easy combo that you can do to set it all up. All you need is 1 copy of Nadir's Servant. Activate the Servant and send Garura to the graveyard to add Dogmatica Maximus to your hand. After that resolves, the Garura will draw you a free card, which is pretty nice, and then you can banish it to special summon the Maximus. Maximus will then send the original Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and Herald of the Arclight from your extra deck to the graveyard. Arclight triggers adding Illusion of Chaos to your hand, which you then can use to add Magician Souls, and then you can special summon the Magician Souls by sending that Illusion of Chaos from your deck to the graveyard. At that point, you'll have Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and Illusion of Chaos in the graveyard, which do meet the material requirements for Dragon Master Magia. During the turn that you activate all of these Dogmatica cards, you won't be allowed to special summon from the extra deck, but luckily with a quick play spell like Ultimate Fusion, you can just summon the Dragon Master Magia on the opponent's turn instead. You could also use Dragon's Mirror, but it will have to wait 1 turn until the Dogmatica restrictions wear off. Realistically, Dragon Master Magia probably isn't a competitive card, but it is a playable card that many Blue Eyes and Dark Magician players were looking forward to trying out. However, because of its absolutely ridiculous price, unfortunately, most players won't be able to afford it. To understand why this card is so expensive, we have to look at the rarity breakdown of Battles of Legend Terminal Revenge. This set features over 100 cards, and every card in it is either Ultra or Secret Rare. On top of that, 22 of the cards are available as Quarter Century Secret Rare. They've been using this rarity in a lot of sets recently as a way to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Yu-Gi-Oh! Out of a case of this set, which is 12 boxes, you should pull between 3 and 4 of these Quarter Century Secret Rares. Luckily though, these 22 QCRs are also available in lower rarities in the set. This means that even if you don't pull your favorite card as a Quarter Century Secret Rare, you will still pull a ton of regular copies out of your boxes. However, on top of these 22 Quarter Century Secret Rare versions of other cards in the set, there are also 3 cards that are only printed in that rarity. 2 of these are alternate artworks of Sky Striker, Ray, and Rose. Ray is sitting around $130, while Rose is currently at $60. While these 2 cards are not cheap, you don't need to buy them to play Sky Strikers. Both of these monsters have tons of prints that are under $1. The last card that's only available in this rarity is, of course, Dragon Master Magia. These 3 cards are in the same pool as those 22 cards that are rarity upgrades, which means that you have a total total of 25 different QCRs that you can pull. Like I said though, you'll only pull 3 to 4 QCRs out of one case of this set, which shows you why Dragon Master Magia is so rare. You should pull one Dragon Master Magia somewhere between every 6 and 8 cases, which is 72 to 96 boxes. For context, one case of this set is around $800, so even if you got very lucky and pulled a Dragon Master Magia out of 6 cases, you still had to spend $5,000 to pull it. For comparison, when they printed this card in Japan a few months ago, they gave it 3 different rarities. 2 of them are low rarity versions and 1 of them is a QCR. The 2 lower rarity versions are only a couple of dollars, while the QCR is around $200. That's still expensive, but you don't have to buy that version to play the card. For the life of me, even from a business profit mindset, I don't understand why in the TCG they didn't print this card in multiple rarities. Even if this card was printed as an ultra or secret rare in this set alongside a QCR, the QCR would still likely be the most expensive card in the set. If they did that though, at least players on a more limited budget could actually afford it. Even competitive players that are willing to spend $100 on a good secret rare to play at tournaments likely aren't going to spend $600 on Dragon Master Magia. As it stands right now though, only the most dedicated and financially stable Yu-Gi-Oh fans will be able to afford this. I'm willing to bet that 99% of the Dark Magician and Blue Eyes players out there are not willing to spend $600 on this fusion monster. Perhaps the most frustrating part though is that Dragon Master Magia is the cover card of this pack. I think that they did this because they wanted to give players a card to chase, but even with that in mind, I believe that printing it in a lower rarity wouldn't have made the QCR any less cool. I think that the best case scenario here, outside of the card getting a quick lower rarity reprint, is just putting it into Master Duel. In Master Duel, you would at least have a way to play it even if you couldn't play it at actual physical tournaments. But believe it or not, Dragon Master Magia looks even worse when you compare it against other cards that were also printed in one hard to get rarity. 4 years ago in Battles of Legend Armageddon, we got 10,000 Dragon. This card was released as a celebration of Yu-Gi-Oh finally hitting 10,000 unique cards, and it's a big collector's item. Just like Dragon Master Magia, this card was printed in only one hard to get rarity, but the set didn't have a bunch of quarter century secret rares, which meant that you would pull 1 copy per every 2 cases. 10,000 Dragon has a big flashy effect that doesn't really make sense not only in competitive environments, but honestly in casual environments as well. It is really meant just to be a celebration of 10,000 Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and for that reason you don't need it at all. This card sat between $1,000 and $1,200 for several years, and currently it's still going pretty strong at $800. While these prices are certainly more expensive than Dragon Master Magia's prices, because the card isn't very playable, most people aren't too bothered by it. It is a little frustrating that most people won't be able to afford this card in real life, but I think because it's such a big moment in Yu-Gi-Oh's history, I completely understand why they made it so hard to pull. Magicians of Bonds and Unity is a card that's only printed as a QCR, and it's been put into 4 different core sets between July 2023 and April 2024. Just like with Dragon Master Magia, this card is part of a set that has a bunch of other QCRs, and it's a card that is only printed in that rarity. This card is meant to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Yu-Gi-Oh, but just like with 10,000 Dragon, its effect is pretty useless. This card has not maintained a high price point. When the first one was released, it was around $200, but it quickly dropped to $100 over just a few months. Each subsequent release of this card has gone down even further, with the newer ones sitting around $50 to $70. It's a cool collector's item, but because the effect is so bad, it's a completely optional purchase. Finally, we just got Dragon of Pride and Soul, which is essentially a dragon variant of Magicians of Bonds and Unity. At the time of recording this video, Infinite Forbidden is brand new, so it's hard to say where this card will land, but right now it's sitting at just under $100. As you can tell, Dragon Master Magia is unique compared to all of these other monsters because it's the only one that's remotely playable. We don't know when Dragon Master Magia will get a lower rarity reprint, but I hope they don't make us wait too long. I still think that they should have put it as an ultra or secret rare in the Battles of Legend set alongside the QCR, but until they reprint it, I'll be waiting in Master Duel for a more accessible release. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this situation. It's causing some drama in the community, and I can definitely see why. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video. video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you later though. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.